Laser sights increase confidence regardless of experience level, whether you're learning the fundamentals or overcoming aging eyes. Crimson Trace, making laser sight standard equipment. Visit crimsontrace.com to find a dealer near you.
Today on Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, Tom's live from the Gun Rights Policy Conference, plus your range reports and much more. Call in now, 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now here's Tom.
I do not know how we're going to get it all in. I'll tell you what, 3+ hours. We're at the Gun Rights Policy Conference in Dallas, Texas. So, by the way, hey, I'm Tom Gresham. Glad that you could be with us. It's called Gun Talk because we're going to be talking a lot about guns and also a lot about gun rights because we are at the Gun Rights Policy Conference, GRPC. It's put on by the Second Amendment Foundation and the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms. I think there was something on the order of between 500 and 600 people here, kind of a who's who of the gun rights world from state, even local organizations, and, of course, national organizations. The NRA was here. National Shooting Sports Foundation was here. Second Amendment Foundation, Citizens Committee, Gun Owners of America, on and on and on. I mean, it's kind of a whole lineup. Joining me right now is our good friend Dave Workman. He's the senior editor of The Gun Mag, and also you kind of hang out over at Second Amendment Foundation now and then.
Yeah, I certainly do that, yeah.
Yes, you do. So, Dave, you've been to a lot of GRPCs. Good turnout this time, and it seemed like a lot of energy.
Yeah, I think so. There was a lot of diversity here. Some new subjects came up for the panel discussions. Mm-hmm. I think the audience interest was very good, and you could see that by the Sunday morning turnout, which is typically down, but this time the Sunday morning crowd was really good.
Right.
So, all in all, I'd say it was a pretty successful GRPC, and it's Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, and you mentioned the diversity. We have more women, more minorities, and yes, that's a little bit of an outreach thing, but I think, and we were talking about this earlier, to what extent do you think that's just a reflection of what's happened with gun ownership in America?
Well, I think you're onto something there. The turnout of people at classes, I talk to gun dealers occasionally around the country. There's more interest in taking firearms and self-defense courses. More women are getting involved in the shooting sports, and not just the shooting sports.
Right.
A lot of women are buying guns because they believe in the Second Amendment. They want to defend themselves, their kids. Minorities are turning out. Maybe they don't have the same reasons that some of the rest of us do, but they're getting involved in this thing, and they're suddenly discovering that, gee whiz, there is a Second Amendment. We got to protect that thing.
The other thing that we've talked about this, I continue to see people say, well, I got a gun because I wanted to, protect myself and all, and went out and shot. And it's like they stop and they're almost embarrassed to tell you. They say, but, this is really kind of fun.
Yeah.
You go, yeah, that's the reason we've been doing all this shooting all these years.
Yeah, they discover that this is the real thing is better than a video game. That's for sure. And when you can go out and put holes in a target or shoot a bunch of clay birds to pieces, even bouncing a tin can around, that's a lot of fun because that is a reactive target. Whatever else they call it, it's a reactive target. Shooting so well that you get to be able to shoot the marks on a playing card, that's when it really gets fun. People, they love doing that stuff because it gives them a sense of accomplishment.
And it's just you and the target. There's nobody to blame it on. I love it. People say, well, my sights are off, and I take it and shoot the gun and go, well, it shoots really well for me, so I don't think the sights are off.
Yeah. There's always, I'm an old guy. I can think of any excuse you want I can come to, but it boils right down to hand-eye coordination.
Mm-hmm.
And
concentration.
You betcha. And that's why shooting, they call it a sport. Well, it is a sport, but there's a lot more to it than that. And, let's be honest, the Second Amendment isn't about deer hunting or duck hunting. It's not about target shooting either. And it's amazing to me, as a journalist who's covered the shooting sports for years, the gun issue, I should say, for years, that people are relearning the Second Amendment. And the interest is out there like I haven't seen for a long time. And I'm delighted about that because you and I aren't going to be here forever, but that Second Amendment's got to be defended.
Well, I'm not going anywhere. I don't know about you, man, but I'm going to be here forever.
Well, okay. In that case, I'll be right here with you, Tom.
Now, when you say people are rediscovering the Second Amendment, what do you mean?
Well, I think for a long time, the Second Amendment was a dirty four-letter word with a lot of people, and I blame a lot of that on the national news media, my colleagues in the press, and a lot on Capitol Hill and in state legislatures.
Sure.
Where we had grown a generation of politicians who didn't see a gun control law they didn't fall in love with. That's changing, and I think we owe part of that to what happened in Paris, what happened in Nice, what happened in Orlando, what happened in San Bernardino. People have discovered again that while the police try to do a good job, when seconds count, they're minutes away.
Yeah, as we know. Now, I got to tell you, my highlight of the trip, the GRPC, and there were just a lot of great speakers. And, everybody you can think of is here from, John Lott. We had Alan Gura by video in here, and it goes on and on and on. But for me, it was being able to meet and shake the hand and give a hug to Shanine Allen.
Yeah. Her case, her story is almost what you could define as an atrocity of the legal system.
I say that she was a political prisoner in New Jersey.
Yeah, she was. The New Jersey gun laws are so anti-American. It's just appalling. My God, remember George Washington went across the Delaware River to attack a bunch of people in New Jersey. And, I'm not sure he should have wasted his time. Well, I don't know.
Well, no, for those who don't know, Shanine Allen is a young mother of two. Black woman drives into New Jersey from Pennsylvania. She has a permit in Pennsylvania. Goes in there. She's got a birthday cake and balloons in the car. Yeah, she's on her way
to a party.
A party, and gets pulled over for speeding and informs the officer that she has her firearm and she has her permit. Of course, it's not good in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So, he looks in there. Here's this young woman with balloons and a cake, and she's not exactly, the tips you would get for being a felon. Slaps the cuffs on her, and they put her in not just jail, they put her in prison for 48 days until we could break her out.
Yeah, she lost her job. Could have lost her kids.
Yeah.
This is.
And they offered her a deal, and she said, "I am not going to do that because I didn't do anything."
Good for her. And
they said the deal was 3.5 years in prison. By the way.
Yeah, that's some kind of deal, all right.
Right.
And good for Shanine that she did not back down. She did not give up her civil rights. What they did to her was against everything that you and I believe in.
You know what was interesting? I think she was very surprised at the reaction she got here. And I was talking to somebody who said, I was talking with her and said, what you need to understand, yes, you are this young black woman mother, okay? But what you don't understand is to the rest of us, you are us. When we look at you, we see us. You're a gun owner. You're a gun owner who got this treatment. You're a gun owner who got arrested for something that shouldn't happen. So as far as we're concerned, you are us, we are you, we're all together in this.
She is the perfect example of what shouldn't happen in the United States.
To anyone.
That's right, to anyone. And she may have been afraid to walk into the room. She was a hero when she came through that door.
No doubt at all. And and she has taken it on. She says, I am trying to tell everybody about this so they understand why we need reciprocity throughout the country.
Right. And, I've written about the Shanine Allen case at least 2 or 3 times back when I was writing for the old Examiner.com. Mm-hmm. And that was a horror story on almost live TV. It was, and what really bothers me about this was the coverage that she didn't get from the mainstream press.
Yes, exactly right. And if it had been for any other offense,
that's right,
it would have been covered like crazy. It was up to us. I came up with the idea of getting this billboard put up right by the prosecutor's office that had her picture with her children, and the question was, why is the prosecutor wanting to put her in prison?
Yeah.
And we got a fund going. We paid for that, basically shining the light of public scrutiny on it and embarrassing them into doing something.
Yeah, and we're talking about New Jersey. This is the state where Carol Bowen was murdered while she was waiting for her gun permit to be approved. And she was waiting for months. Now, the law says you got to approve it, I think in 90 days or something.
Another person who was killed through waiting period.
Yeah.
It's happened before.
Yes, it has happened before. And those are outrages. And how in New Jersey officials can look at themselves in the mirror every day is beyond me. I couldn't stand to live with myself if something like that happened. And to them, they're just another number. It's no big deal. It is.
Yeah, it's an individual. It's a mother. It's a woman who lost her job, lost a lot. Shanine Allen, you're right. She walked in uncertain of what the reception was going to be. And she walked out of there a hero with a standing ovation. So,
and I'll tell you something else, too. There was a lot of hardware in that room today. You know, the GRPC was probably the safest room in Texas to be, and that's saying a lot. And so,
a lot of open carriers.
You bet. And I'm proud of these guys, too. They behave themselves. They just carry on like they're supposed to carry.
It's not a thing.
Yeah.
If people want to read your writing and what you've been up to, was it thegunmag.com?
Yeah, thegunmag.com. I'm senior editor there. I also do a thing that we created out there at SAF's headquarters in Bellevue called Liberty Park Press. You can also find my screed at the Conservative Firing Line. And not long ago, and I okayed this with Alan, I started writing about a year ago, American Handgunner Online. I've got a column on there called Insider Online.
Yeah, what people don't know is you're also a holster designer and builder as well as a real gun guy.
I wonder how it is that I find time to sleep.
I understand. Dave Workman, thank you so much.
Always a pleasure, Tom. Nice having me.
All right,
thank you.
All right. If you'd like to join us, 866-TALK-GUN, get you in here, 866-TALK-GUN, or just dial Tom Talk Gun.
There's a reason why police officers trust Spear Gold Dot ammunition over the competition. The same reason you should too. The ultimate expansion and FBI-tested reliability have proven time and again to protect America's finest. Spear Gold Dot is the #1 trusted ammo for police protection. And while it's standard issue for the men and women in blue, it's now available for personal protection. Spear Gold Dot, the gold standard of professional conceal and carry ammunition.
Attacks happen every day. How will you react? See real people put into real-life criminal attack situations on First Person Defender. Discover what works and what doesn't. Kidnapping, ATM robbery, home invasion, and other attacks. Learn how to save your life and the lives of your family. Get the entire first season on DVD at shopguntalk.com. Get prepared. shopguntalk.com.
Built to perform in the harshest conditions, the Ruger American pistol can take it all, from ice to dust and everything in between. The Ruger American pistol features a short take-up trigger, Novak sights, and a recoil-reducing barrel cam with low-mass slide for reduced felt recoil. Plus, a modular grip system with 3 sizes to fit almost any hand. Check it out at Ruger.com. The Ruger American pistol, because anything else would be un-American.
Since 1937, Ducks Unlimited has led the charge on wetlands and waterfowl conservation. Wetlands reduce the effects of flooding and recharge our drinking water, but perhaps most importantly, they allow us to experience what makes the outdoors so great. Band together to rescue our wetlands.
The holster that changes shape with your lifestyle is finally here. Alien Gear Holsters proudly presents the revolutionary Shapeshift modular holster system. The Shapeshift starter kit is a base package containing 1 holster that can easily switch between 4 of the most popular carry positions, including IWB, OWB, appendix, and paddle, depending on your preference or activity. Find more information, including future carry options like shoulder and drop thigh, at aliengearholsters.com.
All right, we're back with you. Tom Gresham here, joined by Doug Ritter from Knife Rights, good friend, old friend. Man, we've been doing stuff together for a long time now. 25 years?
At least.
Yeah. Seems like 50.
I'm not sure that sounds right.
Well, then you caught my drift, my friend. Oh, yeah. How long ago did you come up with this wacky idea for knife rights?
It's been just over 11 years.
Wow. The basic concept for knife rights is it is a Second Amendment or a civil rights, human rights group about knives, knife ownership, knife use. Why? What was the motivator to do it?
Well, the original motivator was a terrible article in the Wall Street Journal, which about evil tactical knives. That was pretty much like all the articles your listeners are familiar with about those evil assault rifles.
Same thing. Didn't they have a picture of like this little bitty goofy knife?
Yes, little buck knife that was a 1 1/8 inch blade.
Yeah, that was the assault knife.
That was and I realized, having traveled elsewhere, especially in England, that there was no NRA for knife owners, and if we didn't do something about it, we were going to end up like England, where almost every knife is illegal.
I mean, you really cannot have a pocket knife for the most part. Is that right?
For the most part, not locking blades, and everything is subject to a cop deciding whether it's appropriate for you to have it or not.
Really? Okay. So it's kind of like New York.
Well, in actuality, in some ways, it's worse. Yes.
Yeah.
But New York is plenty bad.
Well, that's why I wanted to go there, because people, they want updates, but let's back up. The city of New York has a law, and it's about gravity knives, a.k.a. switchblades, a.k.a. whatever the heck we want it to be. What is it?
Okay, so there is a state ban on switchblades and gravity knives in New York State.
In the state.
The issue is that New York City has come up with an interpretation of a gravity knife, whereas pretty much any common lock blade folder would be considered a gravity knife because a cop could, quote, wrist flick, end quote, it open.
Okay.
And there's almost no lock blade knife that a talented, strong, practiced
can't get to flip open.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
As we demonstrated in federal court.
Okay. Which takes us to Knife Rights said, hey, first of all, it's not just, we have this on the books, but we're not doing anything about it.
Yeah, 70,000 arrests in the last 14 years.
70,000 people have been arrested for having a regular old pocket knife in New York.
And it's not like a parking ticket. It's a potential year in jail.
Really? Okay. So 70,000 people, Knife Rights says, all right, we're going to do something about that. We're at the point now where, how long have we been in this lawsuit?
6 years.
6 years and more than a couple of dollars.
More than a couple dollars. We are now on our second appeal because we won our first appeal unanimously when they tried to kick the lawsuit, when the judge tried to kick the lawsuit out for standing.
Okay.
And you know how we say we're the second front in the defense of the Second Amendment?
Right.
Well, that decision on standing has already been used in other 2A lawsuits.
Oh, really?
Where standing has been an issue. So when we say we're the second front, we really are. I mean,
so
we're
what you
connected.
established with Knife Rights is now being used to help with Second Amendment gun rights.
Exactly.
Okay. So it's all connected.
Yeah. So we always knew we would end up on appeal because it's New York. And even if we won, we would end up in appeal.
Sure.
Not unexpected. We didn't win at the district court level.
Sure.
So we just finished briefing the appeal. We've got 2 great amicus briefs, one from the Legal Aid Society, one from 17 law professors. 2 great amicus briefs. If anyone wants to go on the kniferights.org website and read them, they're really good.
Okay.
And we'll see. Meanwhile, when we started this, there was no chance of a legislative solution. Since then, kick over the hornet's nest sort of thing. After 4 years of effort, last year we passed a bill. The governor vetoed it on New Year's Eve. This year we passed a better bill addressing the governor's issues, supposed issues. It should be transmitted to him shortly, and then he'll have 10 days to decide whether to sign it, veto it, or let it become law. So it's sort of belt and suspenders. But when we started this, nobody
gave you a chance.
Nobody gave us a chance.
No.
And a legislative solution was utterly inconceivable.
Unthinkable.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for those who don't know, Knife Rights is a vast staff of about how many people you can get into a Volkswagen. But you also have the use of very talented lobbyists and very talented attorneys at various places, all of which obviously cost a lot of money. And you are the most doggedly determined person I know, and you just keep digging where people say you can't get any money to do this, and you never take no for an answer.
Not part of my vocabulary.
It really isn't.
No just means not today.
Well,
28 bills in 20 states in 8 years.
Yeah, and the worst part of it all, you told me that you now have been to D.C. enough to where you know where all the bathrooms are on Capitol Hill.
Well, not on Capitol Hill, but I know where all the bathrooms and elevators are in the House office buildings, the Senate office buildings, and where the secret tunnels are to get between the buildings. It's not something that was ever on my list of things I really wanted to accomplish in my lifetime. But on the other hand, we have the Knife Owners Protection Act this year after Trump's victory, right, including the repeal of the 1958 Federal Switchblade Act. It's starting to move.
Okay.
Inconceivable if the election had turned out differently.
Oh, yeah.
Now a real possibility that we can get rid of one of the worst pieces of knife legislation ever passed.
If people want to get involved with it, it's kniferights.org.
Kniferights.org.
I would suggest going there, taking a look at it, join. If you got an extra 20 or $100, throw it into the kitty. I mean,
we would certainly love it.
And if you happen to know a millionaire or billionaire who would like to help out, we'll take that too, right?
We would be happy to. Yes.
Yeah, we need our own Bloomberg. Is what we need.
I think all of us on this side need our own Bloomberg.
Yes,
it would be handy.
Doug Ritter, congratulations. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for being my friend.
My pleasure.
It is. It's amazing what you've been able to accomplish. It's really impressive.
It's a team effort.
It is.
I can't do it. All the passion in the world won't get it done without the support of people who support us.
Absolutely.
Donate.
So true. Thank you. Kniferights.org. Go check that out. All right. When we come back, we're taking a couple of calls. If you'd like to join us, 866-TALK-GUN or just dial Tom Talk Gun. Matt, don't go anywhere. I'm going to help you out with that new gun you just bought. If you have a question, give me a holler. I'll make up an answer.
Sign up for our Gun Talk newsletter and join the Truth Squad at www.guntalk.com. Now, back to Gun Talk with Washington Times opinion page regular contributor Tom Gresham.
All right, back with you. 866-TALK-GUN gets you in here. I'm live in Dallas at the Gun Rights Policy Conference. We'll have a bunch of other guests coming in, but we do have an open line for you. If you'd like to join us, just give me a holler, 866-TALK-GUN. Matthew has done that, calling out of Salem, Oregon, line 3. Hey, Matthew.
Hey. Okay.
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Well, I was just given a gun.
Hey, Matthew, do me a favor. Hey, Matthew, turn that radio down behind you. That's really going to screw you up with the delay, okay?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Good. All right, got you. Go ahead.
Okay. So I was just given a handgun by a friend, and basically I'm just calling to find out what are the first steps I should take. The main question I guess I have is, should I register it or, go to a gun store and
there is no
transfer my name?
There is no gun registration necessary in Oregon, so you don't have to register a gun. Not an issue. You just own it. The first steps would be, do you have any experience shooting or owning guns?
I do. I do have some. I know the basics, don't point at anybody and that kind of thing.
Okay. What you need to do is take a good training class, seriously. That is the most important thing. You were given the gun, so basically take the amount of money you would have spent on that gun and go buy some serious training. And by serious, I mean probably a 2-day class where it'll be 2 full days.
Okay.
You're in Salem. There are a lot of good places around Oregon to get some training. It shouldn't be a problem, but what you're looking for, because I'm assuming you got this handgun for self-defense.
Well, yes, it was given just as a gift, kind of out of the blue, and so I'm not opposed to it. I just want to make sure I do it right if I do decide to carry.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is that the problem is you don't know all the things you don't know, and so I mean seriously, you just don't. There's no way to know how much you don't know, and so you got to go get a class somewhere. And so look around and find not just like somebody gives a 1-hour class, but a full day class or even a 2-day class. Take the class and then get yourself started, and then try to commit yourself to taking another class once a year at least. But no, there's nothing you have to do as far as the law is concerned there.
If I'm carrying it, for instance, in my vehicle, what are some basic rules I should follow?
All right, well, if you're going to start carrying the gun, now that's a whole different deal. Owning it's one thing, carrying it's a whole different deal. I'm going to suggest that you start doing some searching. There's a website called handgunlaw.us, and they have the rules about concealed carry. If you're going to carry it concealed, you need a permit. I'm not sure in Oregon if you need a carry permit to carry your gun in the car. I'm just not that familiar with Oregon's laws, so you'll need to find that out. You need to check on if you want to open carry, but I'm just going to tell you that it is. It can be a bit confusing, and you need to do your due diligence. The responsibility is on you. So check out handgunlaw.us. You can go to the NRA's website. They have the gun laws for various states there. And there is a group called Oregon Firearms Coalition or Owners, Oregon Firearms Federation. They have a pretty decent website that you can, and it's called OregonFirearms.org. Take a look at what they're doing. But those at least are 3 sites that will get you started.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate that. Let's see. Real quickly, let's get Richard in here on line 4 out of Lake Isabella, California. Hey, Richard.
Hi, Tom. Yeah, I had an old Bearcat that was, I don't know when I got it, probably 50 years ago, that was missing some parts. The ejector was missing. And I called up Ruger, and they said, well, send it in, and we'll see what we can do. And it was not converted to the new safety thing anyway. So I sent it in, and a couple weeks later they called me back and said, well, we'd rather give you a new gun than to try to repair this old one, and you have a choice of blue or stainless steel Bearcat. So I got a new Bearcat free of charge, including they're paying the registration for California and the dealer cost. And I got the gun already. We haven't taken it out yet, but it's a beautiful gun, and they did it all for a replacement. I can't believe they did that.
And this thing was like, what'd you say, it's like 40 or 50 years old?
Well, it was 1961, according to the serial number.
Yeah, I think it's out of warranty at this point, and they still took care of it.
Way out of warranty. But it was missing the injector, and it had not been converted, so they just gave me a new one.
That is terrific. I know you're a happy camper with that. Ruger taking care of people. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. That's a great range report. Hey, I'm going to take a quick break here. We're going to be having some more guests in here at the Gun Rights Policy Conference talking about what's been going on here. If you'd like to join us, 866-TALK-GUN. I'm Tom Gresham.
Want your next gun purchase to be fast and hassle-free? Well, at galleryofguns.com, you can search through thousands of models from our huge firearms inventory. Find a great offer from a local dealer that includes all fees and taxes. And there's no need to arrange a transfer. Gallery of Guns takes a small deposit on your credit card, and your gun will be at your chosen dealer in as little as 48 hours. Plus, your gun will be covered by our guaranteed lifetime replacement warranty. Galleryofguns.com. Search, find, buy. It really is just that easy.
Are you looking for a place to shoot? The National Shooting Sports Foundation has a great website called wheretoshoot.org. It's the largest database of shooting ranges on the internet. It's also a great resource for shooters where you can find video tips, printable targets, and a lot more. Find it online at wheretoshoot.org. And while you're there, download their free iPhone app. That's wheretoshoot.org.
In the war on terror, fighting crime in the streets, in competition, and homes around the world. One name in firearms stands out: Sig Sauer. Our pistols and rifles are renowned for their unfailing performance. This same commitment to excellence can be found in our line of SigTac accessories and the training offered by the Sig Sauer Academy. For unmatched quality, reliability, and innovation when it counts, choose Sig Sauer. Visit sigsauer.com today.
If you're like me, you don't have money to burn, but you still want to buy guns, ammo, and accessories. That's why we created Gun Dealio. That's a free, yes, a free smartphone app. Just download it and start getting the deals. Could be discounts, offers of free magazines for your gun, or you could be the first to hear about new stuff from gun makers. Here's how it works. With Gun Dealio on your phone, you get alerts when you enter a gun store. Special deals, you know. You don't have to do a thing. It'll do a lot of other cool things, like let you watch gun videos and listen to Gun Talk podcast. Plus, check it anytime for hundreds of deals and offers. Getting more while spending less. Smart, huh? Gun Dealio. Made in America. Gluten-free. At the App Store and Google Play or GunDealio.com.
The Black Hills. There's nothing like it on Earth. The kind of place where characters become legends. Wild Bill Hickok, Crazy Horse, Calamity Jane. Pick any part of the world and you'll find people go there to make it their own. But this is where people come to get made. This is the place that made the people who make the best ammo on Earth. Black Hills Ammunition.
That's like a really, really good deal on ammo. Our good friend Mike McNett just sent us a note, said, hey, if you guys want to do this, for the next week, we'll offer 30% off on anything at the Double Tap Ammo website. 30% off promo, good till October the 8th. If you go to doubletapammo.net. But the code, you got to have the code. It's Gun Talk 30. Simple as that. Gun Talk 30, think 30%. And you get 30% off of any of the ammo, and he has some really good ammo. So check it out. The doubletapammo.net. Use the code GUNTALK30 to get 30% off. Some of the folks here, we wrapped up the Gun Rights Policy Conference here in Dallas, I guess an hour or so ago. And some of the folks we were trying to get lined up to walk in here, couldn't, but they had to leave. People are driving home and flying home. But our friend Philip Van Cleve from the Virginia Citizens Defense League said, well, I'll do the show. I'll just be on the road. So we just called him. I think, hey, Philip, did you just pull over to an exit so that we could do this thing?
Yeah, your timing was absolutely impeccable. I was just coming to an exit, got right off. I'm in Arkansas, pulled over, and sitting in a gas station.
I was trying to describe to people how amazing the Gun Rights Policy Conference is, because, I mean, you have the leading scholars, you've got the leading activists from a national basis, from the state basis, and you've got this networking thing and sharing ideas where people are learning from you and what VCL, you guys do at VCDL, and you're learning from other people, right?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. I mean, I started interfacing the minute I arrived, and we're talking about a variety of things, including how to bring, for example, more minorities into gun rights, and all kinds of things. Looking at ways to reach out to other communities.
There was a moment yesterday that was very interesting. Somebody on the podium was talking about, well, do we have diversity and all of that? And yes, there were, some minorities there. And somebody said, well, what about women? And somebody said, well, let's get all the women up here on the podium and just see how many we have. And I said, well, okay, it took 5 minutes to get all the women, and they couldn't get them all on the stage. And when you looked out in the crowd, it was like the place was half empty. That's how many women now are at GRPC. And I think we're starting to see that in the minority communities, because we had definitely some representation there. Things have changed, haven't they?
They have, and they need to continue to change. And as we get more of the diverse groups into the fold, if you will, for example, the Democrat Party is going to be hard-pressed to keep pushing their gun control agenda, because pretty soon the diverse groups that make them up are going to look at them and go, we don't want this. We don't want it. And that might help make the Democrats think twice about all the stupid gun control they're pushing.
All right, best line about all of that stuff yesterday was when Maj from Black Guns Matter, he says, look, don't talk about diversity, just be diverse. That's brilliant.
How simple is that?
Okay, that makes all the sense in the world, doesn't it? All right, so tell us what VCDL has been up to. It seems like you guys are always playing whack-a-mole over there.
It's a good description, whack-a-mole. Yeah, every time I turn around, there's another little thing popping up. We had these protests over statues in Richmond. Richmond, of course, is rich with history of the South because it was the capital back then. And VCDL didn't have a dog in the fight. We're a gun organization. We don't get into statues and all that other stuff. There's other groups that do that kind of thing.
Sure.
But the city of Richmond was actually talking out loud about banning guns at anybody near this protest. Well, they cannot do that legally. And so I immediately got on the phone to the chief of police and to the city attorney and gave them the code section and said, you cannot do this. And I still had to wait to see what they were going to do, if they really were going to back away or if they were going to try and do it anyhow. And when they had a press conference, I realized that they had listened. They didn't want to say that guns were allowed. They tried everything to avoid actually saying that. They said, well, you can't bring baseball bats, you can't bring tire irons, can't bring shields. They listed all this stuff. But, interestingly, what was missing was any kind of firearm. Then the press cornered the chief of police and said, are you going to allow firearms? So he couldn't dodge it anymore. He said, yes. But we're going to enforce gun laws, to which everybody shrugged.
Yeah, okay, well, we would expect you to. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah. And they enforced all the laws at this, unlike Charlottesville, and that stopped from being any real trouble at all.
I'm just thinking, Philip, the reason that you were able to make a phone call and make that happen wasn't because of what happened during the phone call. It was what happened in the previous 10 and 15 years of establishing VCDL as a force to be reckoned with. And when you call, they go, oh, God, it's that guy from that group again. But they pay attention because they know you know what you're talking about.
Absolutely. And they really will almost always just get right in line. I know one time they were saying, oh, well, we need to talk about changing this ordinance to get it in compliance with state law. This was somewhere out Front Royal. And I said, oh, well, we can have a whole bunch of members show up to your next city council meeting to encourage you guys to do it. Oh, no. No, trust me, we'll take care of it. 2 weeks later, it was fixed.
We'll help you out. That's right. We will flood your council meeting room.
We've done it. We had 300 show up at one city council meeting one time. We were hanging out the doors. The fire marshal just walked away in frustration.
I during the luncheon yesterday, I was master of ceremonies for luncheon, and I said, look, it really comes down to simple words here: show up or shut up. What do you think?
Yes, that was beautiful. That was it was great. I'm stealing that, by the way. I'm just letting you know.
Go for it.
You bet.
I hear a lot of the things that I came up with being repeated, and that's good because that's what they're for. There's no pride of authorship here. Just use them and make them work for you, man.
Everybody's like that, We got our "Gun Saves Lives" motto there that we have. We're happy to see any group take that, and they have, and we're happy with that. It's the message that's important, not who thought it up.
It absolutely is. Hey, Philip, can I get you to hold for just a minute through a break? I'd like to come back with you here.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no problem.
Okay, tell you what, don't go anywhere. We're talking with Philip Van Cleve from the Virginia Citizens Defense League. If you want to see what they're up to, and it is absolutely a model group for any state group. Their activism has been so effective. VCDL.org for Virginia Citizens Defense League. VCDL.org to see what they're up to. If you want to crank up your state organization, you could do a lot worse than to copy what these guys have been doing and how effective they have been. 866-TALK-GUN. I'm Tom Gresham, and this is Gun Talk at GRPC. right, back with you, Tom Gresham, 866 Talk Gun. We're talking with Philip Van Cleve from the Virginia Citizens Defense League. He was here at GRPC, and now he's, where'd you say you are, Philip, in Arkansas on the side of the road?
Yeah, I'm about 30 miles, I guess, away from Hope, Arkansas.
Oh, my gosh, you can stop in and see the Clinton Museum.
No,
lucky
no,
dog.
no, no chance.
No chance of that at all. Okay. All right, so VCDL, when did you guys start?
Started in late 1994, and just in time for the 1995 legislative session in Virginia. And right out of the box, we went from, our group got us to go from a may issue state to shall issue that very first year. And boy, what a change, from 3,000 permit holders in the state to now we have almost 500,000.
Incredible. And what you're kind of got this early warning system. You've got people all over the state who are always listening to what's going on with city councils and counties and people who might be wanting to start infringing or regulating and all. And you guys are just Johnny on the spot. You're right there every time it happens.
We are. I mean, I had two highly trusted leads about what Richmond was looking to do about banning guns. These were people on the inside loop who I couldn't identify them, but they gave two different directions. They came and said they're seriously looking at this, and that's what really lit the fire under me. And we've had this happen over and over and over again. So, I just discovered it's like, I feel like we just found a Tyrannosaurus Rex walking around Williamsburg. It was supposed to be extinct millions of years ago. Well, they found a county that's fingerprinting people for concealed handgun permits. That's been illegal for 9 or 10 years now.
Holy cow.
I'm going to have to chase that one down. These rural counties, people, I guess they don't know who to talk to, or they don't think about checking the legality. Whether they're just used to these courts out in these rural areas, just think they can get away with anything. And so every now and then you got to crack the whip and remind them that no, we're now in the 21st century.
Well,
you got to catch up.
You got to provide a little bit of education for them, Philip.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let me ask you. I mentioned that I think VCDL is a good model for any state organization. If a state organization wants to contact you about how you do things, I know you're willing to help them, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you bet. No problem at all. We our goal is to get this country where it should be, and we're willing to do whatever we have to do to get it there.
That is perfect. Philip, I mean, I am always impressed with your ability to marshal your forces and get them out there on short notice. And I think that's where some state organizations could really benefit from how you do it, how it works, all of that, the nitty-gritty of it. So I would encourage anybody in any state who's got a group that says, okay, we just need to make ours better. Let's talk to Philip. Let's see how they do it. And they can just contact you right off the website.
Right off the website. Actually, I tell you what, any of the phone numbers on the vcdl.org website, they all ring on my desk. So unfortunately for you, you're going to get me, the president of the group. Or my
for better or for worse, you're going to get Philip, right? All right. Well, I'm going to let you get back on the road, man.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'll be happy to help anybody with the tips and tricks.
Will do, Philip. It was a pleasure to see you again. I always like getting together with you. Have a safe drive back.
Okay, thank you, Tom.
All right, take care. All right. I like Philip. It's that's one of the things that's so great about going to the Gun Rights Policy Conference. You run into all sorts of people here, people you know, and then people you don't know. When we come back, I'm going to be talking to a young lady who has a little different perspective. I think a perspective that's going to help some people kind of understand where we are, where we came from, and why it is so important that we do the things we're doing when it comes to gun rights. Always good to get a different perspective, and I guarantee we're going to have that. And then a little bit later on, we're going to have news about a brand new device. Don't know how to explain it any better than that, but it's going to be making news. You're going to hear about it here first. It's a device, well, let's just say this. You may be making an interesting gun on your kitchen table with this one. 866 Talk Gun. I'm Tom Gresham. This is Gun Talk.